Good day. Welcome to Real Estate Whiskey Talk. This week on the channel, we're joined again by MaryAnn Dailey with Dailey Insurance, who's going to cover some of the ins and outs of what's included in a homeowner's insurance, what people assume should be covered, and some of the common things that people might overlook from their insurance.
Hi everybody, I'm MaryAnn with Dailey Insurance, and I'm your local mom and pop insurance shop. I'm an insurance broker. I've been doing this for about 15 years, and my husband now works with me, and he's licensed in property casualty, and we love to answer questions.
So, I gotta ask, as a homeowner that has a policy that knows not nearly enough about what's actually in those papers, what does the typical homeowner's insurance policy cover? And with that, what are some of the things that people would think should be covered that probably aren't, and or that might need additional riders?
All right, are you ready for
Go.
long answer,
Go
short
for it.
answer? Standard homeowners insurance policy is going to protect you from those major catastrophes like wind, hailstorms, tornadoes, not flooding. Flooding is not covered under your homeowner's insurance policy.
Learned that the hard way.
Earthquake you can usually get with a high deductible. Other things that are covered would be theft, vandalism, fire, typically. Some of those things, we have actually infographics that we can give our customers that will show them graphically what is actually covered, what perils you're insured against. Things that you want to think about, though, that aren't typically covered that you might think. I've actually had a customer ask me one time if their auto insured or their vehicle was insured under their homeowner's insurance policy, and it is not.
And why would that matter?
If you have
What would be a reason that might cause that question to come up?
Well, if you have a tornado come through and it destroys your home and your vehicles, or if you had your home collapse onto your vehicle, or if you had a fire, if a fire happened at your
So if
property.
the house is damaged, in the process, the car gets damaged too.
Correct.
The car should have its own coverage, which it should already have that. But the homeowners, it'd be two different deductibles then. If you have both covered, it's still gonna be two deductibles though.
Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
It'd be two separate deductibles. And you'd want comprehensive coverage. So even if you've got a vehicle that you have stored in your garage and you're not driving around on the roadways, you want to at least have that comprehensive coverage.
Okay.
If you want coverage for your vehicle in those events.
So like you got like a classic car, something you're working on the side, it needs to have some coverage if you
Yes.
want to be covered.
Correct.
Okay. What's the most common items that people think in their house is covered? Full value, not full value. I'm going to joke and say the liquor collection behind us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that covered?
Well,
and what does that look like?
So if you've got replacement cost coverage on your contents in your home, for things like fire or tornado, they're going to protect you. They have to replace it, and most policies say they're going to replace it with like, kind, and quality.
Okay.
So as long as you plan on replacing those items, they'll give you that replacement value.
But they're actually give you cash.
They'll give you, so up front, let's say you have a house fire,
Okay.
for instance, and everything's destroyed. Well, they're going to give you the actual cash value, minus depreciation for those items, until you replace them.
Okay.
It's kind of like your roof. If your roof gets destroyed, they're going to give you up front that actual cash value minus depreciation. Then once you actually replace the roof, they'll cut you the check for what they call the recoverable depreciation.
Okay, so basically what they'll cover of the difference.
Correct. But the items that you're speaking of for theft, so if you have things stolen from your home, that would be something you want to talk to your insurance agent about. Things such as jewelry, money, like you can't just call your insurance company up and say,
Someone stole $5,000 out of my house.
Yeah, I've got $5,000 I had under my, in my pillowcase, and somebody took that. So, an insurance company got to come pay me for that. They're going to say, no, you have a special, they call it a limit of liability on those particular items in your policy. So that means there are only maybe $500 is the most they would pay you for theft of your money, and if you have a deductible, of course.
So I know jewelry does that too. So if you have a substantial collection of jewelry or even just expensive items, make sure your policy covers
Yes.
it. What about firearms?
Yep, firearms, another item if you're concerned about theft. You want to make sure
Because a couple of those add up to $500 pretty quick in today's world.
That's true. Yep, I've known people with entire collections that have spreadsheets and everything. So, there's also separate policies sometimes. They call it a personal articles floater that you could purchase, and that way you wouldn't even have to file a claim on your home policy, which we talked about before, which if you're filing multiple claims on your homeowner's insurance, you could get canceled by your insurance company. We don't want that to happen. We don't want your rates to go up. So, yeah, personal articles floater would be a good idea if you've got items like jewelry, watches.
Or a collection of something.
A collection of something, yes.
So I've got a collection of video games that's not huge in value yet, but it'll get there over time. So that would be something to cover by itself. We completely missed that the whole purpose of the show is whiskey real estate talk. I'm enjoying a little Four Roses. I can still not seem to talk her into drinking at my house. So she's opted for some blueberry cream from Cedar Creek Coffee today.
It's delicious.
Just yet again a plug as always for my job program that I work at during the day. It's special needs employees roast and packaged coffee in Branson. Good coffee, the good cause. So, all right. So you said my firearms aren't covered.
They are for
just
like if you have a fire or tornado, something like that, and destroys them.
Okay.
But if somebody steals them from you, then they're going. It's for the theft.
The theft. Okay.
The theft peril. Yes.
Okay. So with that, like if someone had a $10,000 necklace that got lost during a fire, is that different, or is that still covered?
Well, the fire is the cause of loss.
Okay.
So it's going to be, they're going to pay you that actual cash value until you replace that.
Okay.
But yeah, it has to be destroyed in the fire. But if it's just lost, if you call your insurance company and say, I lost my necklace,
That's a different conversation.
that's a different conversation.
And that's where the rider would come into play. Okay. So
Yes.
that makes interesting to know because like I've unfortunately had a friend that had a house fire years ago and they lost everything, but their insurance took care of it. It just takes time. Like you can't replace memories, but you can replace the items.
Correct.
And the insurance did what they need to do. It just takes a moment to do. But like I've got a friend that's got a decent sized watch collection and like theft for him is not the concern, but the concern was for if he was to lose it from a storm or a natural act or whatever. So that would be covered by the actual incident.
Correct. Yeah.
But if someone broke in and stole, that's a different conversation.
Yes.
Okay. What is probably, I want to say the craziest, but that may not be appropriate. What is the most unique thing that someone's tried to call an insurance claim in on that you've experienced in your 15 years of experience? Put you on the spot. What you got?
The craziest thing that someone has tried to claim.
Like what's the most bizarre, other than like I would love to call my insurance and say, hey, there was $5,000 in my mattress last night and today it's not there. And my wife has no idea what happened to it. Like, but I never thought of that being a problem, but that's, I don't know, kind of stuff. Like I've got a couple of bars of silver just for fun, but nothing of value. But like, what is something that someone's called that you have that of value, like a Beanie Baby collection or something along those lines?
Well, I had somebody recently ask me about the record collection.
Okay.
They had a really nice vinyl collection, and
Did they mention how much value it was, just out of curiosity?
About $400,000.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to insure that. I'd also want to keep it in a glass box, not at my house, like in a vault somewhere. That's cool. That's where like I always get back to having a communication with the people you do business with matters, and having a personal connection to them matters, because
Yes, it does.
like I said, I have maybe $2,000 worth of video games, maybe. That's nothing major, like not the least. But if I had $400,000 of video games, I would want my insurance to know about it, and I'd want to have coverage for it because, like, yet again, we live in an area that has hail. We have an area that has tornadoes. Like, my house could not be here tomorrow. That could happen. So, like, that's why insurance matters, and that's why a personal connection always matters.
Absolutely.
So, if they want that personal connection and they happen to be 417 area in the Springfield Branson area and they need insurance questions, help, or suggestions, or want to change companies or look at some of the different companies you guys offer, what is the best and easiest way for them to get a hold of you guys?
The best and easiest way to get a hold of us is to visit our website, dailyinsurance.com. It's there up and running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you just go there. It's spelled DAILEY, insurance.com. So if you go there and fill out a form to contact you, we'll contact you within 24 hours, usually quicker than that. And if you want to call or text, we're text friendly, 417-883-3044.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for watching to the end of this week's episode on Real Estate Whiskey Talk. As always, we're looking for other industry leaders in our real estate world that want to come and visit the studio and bar, maybe try some whiskey and talk about their industries. And we're always looking to help people reach their real estate goals. So if you need anything, please reach out as well.